What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Tuck. I just wanted to do a recap on the Africans versus African Americans video that I did about 2 or 3 days ago. Got a lot of responses. It ruffled some feathers. Some people thought I was a fleeting moron. Some people agreed. Some people disagreed. And some people had rebuttals, which is all good. I like to press on something to make people think, or even for them to make me think. Okay, so I think that's a good thing, man. And I didn't have that many ad hominem attacks, man. Calling me the C word, or you're misinformed, you don't know nothing, or I didn't have many of those, man. So I appreciate you guys for coming in here and actually wanting to have a conversation about this, man. I really appreciate that. I think that's cool. I can handle ad hominem attacks, but I'd rather be adults and let's talk about what the subject is and what you think about it. So I got a lot of feedback. It's great. One of the best feedback points that I got that was a rebuttal to what I said was, okay, the Africans send their top 10% over here. Why don't you compare that the people that come over from Africa to get an education and our top 10%? That's fair. I think it's still moving the goalposts a little bit as far as what you're saying. But you know what? Based on that fact alone, we have a fighting chance to probably beat their 10%. You know what I mean? But I guess I was reaching a little further than that, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was reaching a little further. A couple other things that I got in there. I got a lot of this. I got a lot of Black Americans are some of the most innovative people in the world. We've done the most and all this stuff. And you know what? That's not a lie either. I agree 100% with that. We've done, as Black Americans, we've done a hell of a lot. Okay? We invented all kind of stuff, man. Culture, just everything you can think of throughout the 20th, 19th, and 20th century, Black Americans have done. Man. Okay? So I agree with that, too. And I also got some things about, okay, because you know what I was going to bring up next. I'm talking about over the last 50 years now. Now, that's the statistic I want to talk about, okay? Over the last 50 years, where Black Americans are and have been and are in 2025, okay? And I know what I'm going to get from that. Well, the socioeconomic conditions. That's not a lie either. There's truth to a lot of that, man. Black people went through a lot of shit over the years. It's true. That is true. And it sucks, man. And there's at times we're still trying to get over a lot of that shit. But my question is, man, when we bring up something like this, okay? When is it time to put personal responsibility in this shit, man? At some point in time, man. I mean, there's another 50 years gonna go by, and we're at the bottom of the barrel in a lot of statistics, and we're gonna be like, well, shoot, man, back in the 1970s, man, this and that happened. In the 80s, this and that happened, and we never overcame it. You know what I'm saying? When is it going? This is what I don't see enough, because I see a lot of people, they put stuff in the comments like that, and that's understandable, and that all makes sense. But what I don't see is accountability. Okay, let's make a solution to this. Let's get this done. Let's not do this. You know what I mean? I don't see none of that. I don't see nobody. There's no accountability for today, man. I don't never see, well, damn, man, this is happening because of this, and that. Nobody's ever held accountable. You're still going to be Black. You can critique your own people. You know that, right? You're still going to be Black. You're not going to lose a Black card because you're speaking out of line, so to speak, man. I think that's what a lot of people are afraid of. They're afraid to speak up and speak out on certain things, man. That don't mean that you hate your people or you're not black or nothing. You're just calling it how you see it, and hopefully things can get better. Okay, so let's just make, for instance, man, and we're still on Africans and African Americans. They're still whooping our ass, even with that statistic. They're whooping our ass. I'm not gonna change on that. That's real. So a couple things I'm gonna bring up, man. One, so you got a lot of Pan-Africans, and you got Black Americans itself. Now, there's a lot of Africans that, or let me rephrase that. There's a lot of African Americans. I don't like calling us African Americans. I say Black Americans, but some people like calling themselves African Americans, and they are all the way on the ride, I guess. They're full on throttle with that African side, right? Which is nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. And then you got some Black Americans that are like, man, I don't mess with the Africans, whatever. And then there's some people, then you got some people in the middle. Now, what I seen a lot of people in the comments were like, quit comparing us to Africans. I don't give a damn about the Africans and all this stuff, man. But they also speak that they're not Black Americans either. They don't like the American stuff. So that shit's confusing to me, that part of it, man. It's either I bring something like this up, you know what I mean? Like the amount of people that I got in the comments that don't mess with Africans, man, was kind of amazing to me. That was wild. And I got a lot of African friends, man. A lot of those guys are my brothers, man. A lot of those guys I mess with. It's wild to me, man. It's wild to me. But I'll bring something else up, man. I wanted to touch on in this video. I just kind of got back to it. And somebody brought up Booker T. Washington. Check this book out. I've read that book. But, and Booker T. Washington's one of my favorite scholars, man. One of my favorite scholars, man. And if we were doing things as a group like Booker T. Washington was leading us to do, we would be in much better shape. Mentioning, the top 10. A lot of people brought up, okay, our top 10. That was the W.E.B. Boys. That was his thing. Push our top 10 out there. Push our top 10 out there to get the jobs and, get all this education and come back to the community and thrive and teach others. Well, a lot of those people didn't come back. A lot of those people did not come back, man. They left for greener pastures. So the W.B. Boys, I don't think his disposition didn't work as well as Booker T's, but that's another debate for another time. But I'm gonna end it on this, man. And I just wanted to, this I need to do a live on this, man, because there's so much you can touch on in this subject, man. There's so many layers to it. There's so many situations you can talk about that gets caught in the wind. But to the person that said there's a lot of, we're Black Americans are the greatest folks, you know what I mean? A lot of people that we have that are doing really well. But check this out, man. The people that we look up to as a group, as a culture, right? I'm gonna bring up two people that we look up to like kings, and I'm gonna bring up two people that are very high on the echelon that we look at like scum. Okay? Follow me here. Black Americans in 2025, and let's just keep it a buck, man. We look at Jay-Z like a king all across the board. We look at LeBron James like a king, no pun intended, all across the board. Okay? Follow me. But we look at, and I'm saying this for a reason, we look at guys like Justice Clarence Thomas, Supreme Justice Clarence Thomas, like he's a scumbag and a piece of shit. We look at the brain surgeon, Dr. Ben Carson, like He's a scumbag and he's a piece of shit. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. Even though you might not agree with their ideology, the things that they've reached the highest of the high of their professions, man. They're the top 1%. And as black people, we do not celebrate them. I want to hear, why don't we, this is in the conversation, but this need to be said. Why don't we celebrate Justice Thomas and Dr. Ben Carson? Answers I don't want to hear is because you're a bootlicker, because you're tap dancing. That's using no brain power. That's not using your head. I want to hear actual, like, real answers, because I'm curious. You know, we got such great people, and we're talking current. I want to speak on the current people. I want to talk about 2025 Black American. I'm not talking about 1975 Black America. I'm not talking about 1925 Black America. We were probably the greatest of people back then. Okay? I'm talking about 2025 Black America, where the top people in our culture are Jay-Z and LeBron James. Not in that order. There's other people, but you get what I'm saying. We don't look at scholars and all that stuff. I'm going to add one more. Dr. Thomas Sowell. Sociology, Thomas Sowell. That's another guy that every Black American should know about. That's at the top 1% of his profession. But we look at him like he's scum too. I want to hear some answers on this. It's like, man, I so want to hear what the answers are to this. Why don't we support in 2025? Why don't we support Dr. Ben Carson, Thomas Sowell? Why don't we support those guys, man? And Clarence Thomas, why don't we support them? Great Black Americans that are the top 1% that probably every kid can shoot for. Culture. Okay? I want to know. And this isn't bashing us. This is opening conversation. This is opening uncomfortable conversations. What we don't do. We don't do uncomfortable conversations. We don't do uncomfortable conversations, man. I'm just wondering. So this is my recap on Africans and African Americans, and although there's some good feedback that I got, I still think Africans are whooping their butt, man. And it's not a race to anything. It's not somebody asked, why are you comparing? You know what? Everybody gets compared. Black and white, Mexicans and Puerto Ricans, Japanese and Chinese, dark skin and light skin amongst us. Comparison is everything. Everybody compares and contrasts. So I don't want to hear that either. Don't compare Africans and Black Americans because you're just, no. Stop being so emotional. You know what I'm saying? Open up your mind. So, I don't know. This is going to rub some people the wrong way, but if it does, it does, man. And if it don't, you can have a serious conversational post about it, then let's get it. I told you I'm coming back on here, man, and I'm just going to speak my mind, man, whether it's legit or if it's going to ruffle some feathers or not, or whatever. I'm back. Anyhow, you guys take it easy out there and let me know what you think. Take care.